So yesterday we ended up getting a brand new look at the coming content within Season 2 for Cold War and Warzone. We talked a little bit about that yesterday, but we didn't really get to go over it with a fine-tooth comb and give some actual details about some of the coming contents. Since there is no update to cover as of today, I figured we'd do that and take a look at the weapons coming within Season 2 of Black Ops Cold War and Warzone. As we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. Are you looking forward to any of these weapons in particular, either in Cold War or in Warzone, or are you looking forward to any of the coming content outside of that perhaps? Whatever it is, feel free to let me know. As well, if you are new to the channel, do be sure that subscribe button. We're on the road to 400,000 subscribers, and we'll keep you up to date with all things Cold War, Warzone, and anything COD related, especially as we round into Season 2. There's a lot up on deck, so make sure you stick it here so you don't miss any of it. And also, a special thanks to Plink for sponsoring this video and for partnering up so that we can give away a PlayStation 5 to one of you. More on them in just a second, but let's talk about these weapons at hand. So yesterday we saw the roadmap for Cold War and Warzone Season 2. That was released, and with it we saw a lot of cool things, right? I mean, we saw new multiplayer maps coming to Cold War, Apocalypse as a 6v6 map, Galova coming in Season as a multi-team map, and Mansion as a gunfight map in Season, though honestly I wouldn't expect these to be all that we have. I'd imagine we actually get a few more remasters like we did in Season 1 as well, but kind of weird they didn't promo that if that is the case. We have a brand new zombies experience of Outbreak played on fireteam maps, meaning that it's a bit more open world, though the way that I imagine this working, looking at the trailers and everything, is that it's kind of going to be like Onslaught maybe, except with two major exceptions. One, it's not exclusive to PlayStation players, and two, it'll be available on larger scale maps, not the smaller 6v6 maps, so that would presumably mean that we're going to be having some sort of objective, maybe those dimensional breaches returned, but it'll still follow the basic premise of also being wave-based and making sure you can stay alive as long as possible. Looks pretty cool if you ask me. We'll have new prestiges, a new battle pass, new operators, and even a brand new event for Cold War and Warzone. I'm honestly incredibly excited to see what comes of this. But we also saw that we'll have a whopping 6 new weapons coming in Season. Off the bat, that seems like, and actually is, more than we normally see. Usually we get 4 or 5 depending on the game and the season involved in that game, but 6 is definitely nice here. Those weapons coming within Season 2 are the Fara 83, the LC-10, the ZRG 20mm, the R1 Shadowhunter, the Machete, and the E-Tool. 6 new weapons coming in the season, all of which will be usable within Cold War and Warzone. Balancing, that's an entirely different story to consider, and we may not have any real answers for that until launch itself of this, but a healthy amount of new weaponry to add to your arsenal. Now, there's a few key details that you really need to know about these weapons, but we'll get to those in just a second. Before we do that, I want to take a quick second to pay some bills and give a big thanks to Plink for bringing you this video. Now, what is Plink? I'm glad you asked. They're a great platform that if you're a gamer like me, you may be used to playing solo a lot. Before Warzone really launched, I played solo for the majority of COD games, years of solo play. That gets tiring sometimes, but if you don't want to play solo, this is a great app that analyzes all your in-game stats and behavior. You can connect any of your profiles like PlayStation, Xbox, BNet, and others, and Plink will show you your stats along with your friends for comparison and linking potential. Here you can see who's online and stay in touch with like-minded players around the globe. You can create a squad so that you never have to play alone, and in the process, you can build a pretty nice community of friends. You can match with people based upon a ton of different factors like KD, your favorite time of day to play, what games you like to play among, say, Apex, Rainbow Six, Fortnite, League, Call of Duty, you name it and they've got it. Honestly, of the big ticket items that I could think of, there wasn't a single one they didn't have. So you can get all the information you need and start playing with a link in the description below. And I know that ad reads can be a bit mundane, but Plink wanted to up the ante here a little bit and give you guys a little bit more here. Thanks to Plink, we're going to be giving away 1 PlayStation 5 to a subscriber over on my Plink account. All you have to do, install Plink, add me, and we can have some fun together. So check it out, but let's break down these weapons. Let's start out with the Fara 83, an assault rifle, and this is what we thought when we saw that intro cinematic for Season 2. We kind of thought, okay, maybe that's the Galil, but it actually turns out that weapon is this one. So the Fara 83 is going to be a fully automatic assault rifle that looks to pack a punch, and it's mentioned to have one of the fastest fire rates in its class with a quote of outstanding effective range for solid damage. So that'll be interesting. I'm curious to see if this will become a competitor to, say, the FFAR, especially whenever it jumps over into Warzone, but this will be available in the Battle Pass, surprisingly only at Tier 15 of the coming content. So you'll be able to acquire this relatively quickly and early on. And if you end up getting one of those bundles for the Battle Pass, those often come with those 20 tier skips. So you'll actually have it immediately in that case. So I'm curious to see how powerful this will be. Again, rifle play is huge in not only Cold War, but also in Warzone. So we'll see how this stacks up, but looks pretty good. Also in the Battle Pass, the next weapon in line is the LC-10. This is described as a well-rounded, fully auto SMG that gives CQB players a great ability to stretch fights out to the mid-range. So it'll be boasting a bit longer of that damage range than other SMGs, but it also says that it has a solid accuracy alongside that, though where it does seem to see some trade-offs is in the mentioned damage per shot value. It said that this is on the lower end of the SMG spectrum, so bear that in mind that while it has an above-average fire rate, lower recoil profile, and a bit more of an effective damage range, you may need to land 1 or 2 more shots to get those kills as a trade-off. Think of it kind of like the reverse Odin from Modern Warfare, where it's easier to control and manage, but you'll have a little bit longer in that time to kill. Now, the LC-10 is also available in the Battle Pass, and like mentioned, it is that next in line for the weapon unlocks, so that means you'll end up being able to unlock this one at tier 31, so a bit more time put into it, yes, but if you end up getting, again, that Battle Pass bundle, it'll give you a nice little boost here for that, but you should be able to earn both the SMG and the rifle relatively early on into the season. Now, that's the launch day weaponry, though it only covers the first third of the weapons we'll see throughout the season. Personally, I think that I'm okay with this right off the bat, assuming nothing really changes and it looks to be exactly how it rolls out. The one thing that I didn't really like about Season 1 in Cold War and Season 1's integration with Warzone is that there just really wasn't anything to keep me coming back. We had stuff dropped in larger increments, yes, but then there'd be weeks at a time where literally nothing was worthwhile to jump onto. I needed to jump on to get footage for videos, but I mean, if you're just an average player that doesn't need to do that for part of your job, you don't really have much of reasoning to do so. So if I were to guess, with only 2 of these being available up front, I wouldn't be surprised if this lasts about 8-ish weeks like last season. We'd see bi-weekly releases for weaponry. But that also then leaves us with the in-season weaponry of the ZRG 20mm, the R1 Shadowhunter, the machete, and the E-tool. In order of importance, I'd say the ZRG 20mm has a bit more intrigue than the others, being that it's a new sniper rifle, but this is described as being built for sharpshooters who need power to eliminate enemies at extremely long ranges. It's a bolt action that boasts a faster bullet velocity than any other sniper in its class, which means it may be good actually for Warzone right off the bat, but based on that it may have some trade-offs, where you can kill in one shot to the head, chest, and shoulders. In exchange, you'll end up having a slower fire rate. Though the reload is apparently among the fastest in the sniper category, so a little bit confused as to how this will all work out. Though one thing that isn't mentioned is that ADS time. That's the biggest question mark I have here for this one. I can kill in one shot, sure, but how long will that take to get up to an ADS? Surely that has to be some sort of trade-off for the added bullet velocity, right? Seems like we just don't know right now, but here's to hoping it's not too terrible. The R1 Shadowhunter, a special crossbow that can be used in season. Again, this not a whole ton needs to be really said or can be said about it. There's no real description that was given with it in the blog, but it's a crossbow that apparently will have a solid hipfire spread and will have a bunch of different optics you can equip to it. The melee's pretty straightforward and self-explanatory. The machete is exactly what you'd think, a machete, and the E-tool is a military trifold shovel, both with brutal decimating force being those melees you can equip. Now, when it comes to each of these, they'll be available in season for free via in-game challenges that we normally see. So, for example, the Street Sweeper tasks you with getting 3 kills without dying in 15 different matches with a shotgun, the Sledgehammer tasks you with getting 2 or more kills rapidly in 15 different matches with a combat knife, and the Wakizashi sees you executing 2 finishing moves in 10 different matches with a combat knife equipped. So they'll likely follow similar patterns, maybe X amount of long shots with SMGs in 15 different games, or 5 kill streaks with the rifles, or something arbitrary, but relates back to that weapon class, but also is a little time consuming to make it a somewhat grind. That'd be my guess. Though, as mentioned in the details of the preview blog, we will see shot bundles for every single weapon introduced throughout the season, so if you don't want to do those challenges, you can access them immediately through a paywall, but you'll also have to bear in mind that the customization of the weapon attachments will still work the same way as they did in Season 1, and also the same way they did in Modern Warfare, where the gunsmith is actually locked until that initial challenge to unlock the base weapon is completed. So it will progress you, you'll still gain weapon levels, but you'll have to unlock that base weapon before you can actually customize it. So whatever weapon rank you end up getting to, you'll retroactively get those attachments, but you just won't be able to access them right away. Now, the big question comes down to then timing. Again, if we're seeing a sort of 8-ish week season here for Season 2, that actually kind of lays it out pretty easily. And of course, maybe something that gives us something that comes back relatively quickly within Cold War and Warzone. If I were to guess, maybe we end up seeing around that week 2 update of March 11th, we end up seeing a melee, either the machete or the E-tool. Week 4, maybe March 25th, we end up seeing a sniper or a special weapon added in. Week 6, around April 8th, again, either that sniper or the special weapon, whichever one didn't come first. And then week 8, that melee weapon that would be the last one remaining around that April 22nd mark. That may work out and may be the most evenly distributed, but Who knows? Maybe they decide to take that plan and throw it out the window. We just don't know. But that are the 6 weapons we'll be seeing within Season 2. Again, 2 right up front for within Season to keep you coming back and plan a little bit more, but that's what we have here up on deck and what we can look forward to starting as of next week. So that's where we're going to wrap it up. I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. What do you guys think of this? What weapons are you looking forward to here? Are you hoping for any other weapons in the future? Whatever it is, feel free to let me know your thoughts. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so don't miss a single thing regarding all things Cold War, Warzone, and anything COD related. We'll keep you up to date with all of it. So if you're interested in joining the community, I'd love to have you. If you also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. I live on both those. So if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. That said, thanks so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.